What if I told you I knew a way to raise your credit score and manipulate it however you want to, and also raise it and lower it? But Tommy, why would I want to lower my credit score? Well, the answer is this, guys. I had a credit score of 745, which is very excellent if you don't know, but I only had a credit line of around $2,000. And then I lowered it to 631, and then I had a credit line of almost $50,000. And now I'm at a credit score of around like 709, and I have a credit line of around $33,000. But Tommy, how is it possible that you go from high to low to high, and how are you doing all this stuff? Well, the answer is, guys, I know how to manipulate my credit score legally. Okay, not illegal. Don't call the FBI on me just yet, but everything I'm going to teach you guys in this video is 100% legal. I promise you. Okay, now the first thing is this, guys. Okay, once you understand how the 5 factors work in your credit score, you can easily grab those factors, tweak it, and plug here, take out here, use this right here, and then manipulate it up, down, however you want to, whenever you want to. Now, if you guys don't know me, my name is Simon Bryson. I'm an accountant, and I upload videos on YouTube every single day. Subscribe to the channel, hit the bell so you get notified, and do me a favor and smash that like button, okay? Really appreciate it, guys. It helps a lot with the videos, and I thank you so much, okay? Now, here's a question for you guys, okay? What would you do and what would you buy if you had a credit score of 850? That's perfect, by the way, okay? What would you do, okay? Now, the thing is this, guys, okay? For me, it kind of depends on what you want to do with your credit score. Now, you have 3 little factors that I consider all the time. The first one is people that want a perfect 850 or higher than 740 just for the sake of going out there and getting a mortgage or buying a house, getting some real estate, making investments. Now, that's fine, no problem there. And then you have number 2, people that use their credit score for one thing and one thing only: to squeeze cash out of credit cards and grab that cash from a credit card, which is legal, by the way, and then use that money to invest it or to do whatever you want with it without having to pay any interest. Now, if you're wondering, Tommy, how do I do this? The answer is I'm going to teach you how to do it in this video, and that's what I do, okay? That's what I do every single year. Now, the third type and the third factor are people that go out there and use credit cards for credit card churning, where they take the rewards from a credit card, make that spend limit, spend that money, get the rewards, and then later on close the credit card, but they keep the money. And usually they might get between $5,000 to $10,000 or free flights, free vacations every single year, and that makes it worth it for them, okay? So if you want to do that, I'm also going to teach you exactly how to do it in this video. Now, the first thing is this, guys, okay? A simple explanation of what I'm going to show you guys here is this. I'm going to show you the 5 factors that affect your credit score and exactly how to manipulate them to however you want to, and that way you get whatever score you want to, whenever you want it, raise your credit line, and do whatever you want to do whenever you want to do it, okay? That's the goal here. They don't want you to know this information, but why wouldn't I share with you? Because I had a credit line of $2,000, now I have $33,000, and my credit score might be lower, but by March, believe me, okay, by March or by June or so, I should have a credit score of above 740, just like that. Because it's very simple once you know the rules, how to raise it, how to lower it, how to increase your credit line. Everything is simple, okay? It's not about the score, but it's about what you want to do with it, okay? That's the most important thing. Now, the first factor when it comes to your credit card is basically credit card use. That's how much money you use out of a credit card. So for example, if you have a credit card and you are using, for example, your credit line is $1,000 and you're using $700, that means you're using around 70% of your credit card, okay? Your credit card line. So how does this affect you? It affects you a lot. Around 30% of your credit score is based on this factor right here. But Tommy, how can I manipulate this for my own benefit? The answer is it's very simple, okay? Now, I had my credit utilization rate or credit card utilization percentage at around 70 to 85, even 95% at some points, and that has lowered my credit score by a lot. But in reality, it doesn't matter. It depends on what you're gonna use the money for and what you're actually using your credit score for also, okay? Because that money that I took out from my credit card by doing manufacturer spending, it made me a lot of money. Now, Tommy, what is manufacturer spending? You mentioned it a lot. The answer is, guys, manufacturer spending is when you grab a credit card and you buy a gift card with that credit card, and basically you grab the gift card and take the money in cash from that credit card, and that way you don't pay any interest, but you just got cash from a credit card. Now, if you want a full video on this, I have a link down below for my full video explaining how manufacturer spending actually works, okay? Very simple stuff. Link down below to how it actually works and functions. Now, here's how I go about doing this, guys, every single year. Now, the first thing is, when it comes to me, I really use my credit line to grab money from it by doing manufacturer spending, which you already know how it works. Now, the main thing is this, guys, okay? How I do it is, the first thing is I go out there and I look for credit cards that have a promotional period of 12 to 18 months, meaning that I have to pay no interest on those credit cards, usually a Discover card, a Capital One card, or maybe a Chase Unlimited card that have these promotions. And basically, once I find those cards, I do manufacturer spending on it, I take the cash out, and then I go from those 12 to 18 months, I go and I only pay the minimum on the card, but I grab all the cash that I took from it and I put that money to work, I invest it, and then I have that money and the money it makes, pay the minimum on it, and then 3 months before the balance is due, I pay it off in full, okay? That's what I do every single year. Now, tell me, what is the effect of doing this on my credit score? The answer is, well, when you first do this, your credit card utilization would be extremely high, which means since it accounts for 30% of your entire credit score, it means it's going to lower your credit score by a lot. But towards the end, it'll start to average out and go back to normal, which is what's happening to my credit score right now if you don't know. But the main benefit is, guys, okay, you get to get cash from your credit cards, use that cash wherever you want to, and then put it back later, and all the damage, quote unquote, is only temporary, because once you pay it back in full, you're good to go and no problem whatsoever. And that's what I do every single year. If you go back to one of my first videos on my playlist all about credit, I'm gonna link it right here in the cards, or like right here in the cards. I don't know where the cards are, but it's gonna be like right here. The main point, if you go back there, you're going to see that a few months ago I had a credit score of around like 631, and now it's back to 708 or 709, and then later on by March it should be at around 744 or 750 or even higher. And that's what I do every single year to manipulate my credit score however I want. You should do it if you want to, but again, be very careful, okay? Now, the second factor is actually your payment history. Now, this accounts for around 35% of your credit score, which means it is actually very important. So if you miss payments, by the way, the different types are very simple, okay? The types are charge-offs, missed payments, bankruptcy. All this stuff will ruin your credit score if you don't know, and that's because it accounts for around 35% of your credit score. But Tommy, what can I do to fix this? The answer is, I have a full video on how to get late payments and all those marks away from your credit score. If you want to watch the video, link down below, but I will be explaining it right now for you guys also. But a full video in detail is linked down below if you want to check it out. Now, the first thing is this, right, guys? The first tip I can give you to make sure this never happens to you is you want to automate all your payments to at least always pay the minimum on all your credit cards. Now, I never ever carry a balance unless I won't be paying interest on it. But if you are carrying a balance and you can't pay it back right now because you messed up, well, you want to make sure you automate it, automate all the payments, and that way everything is paid off every single month and you don't have to worry about having any late payments, because again, no one is going to lend money to you if they see that you don't pay your credit card bill, okay? No one wants that headache, okay? So make sure you automate everything. But Tommy, okay, I did that, but how do I go about right now going out there and removing all those late payments, hard inquiries from my credit score? Well, the answer is you want to go to www.cfpb.com. By the way, you don't have to remember this. I hate memory games. So I have a link down below so you can check it out. And it stands for Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. But Tommy, what do I do once I'm on the website? Well, you want to go and you want to submit a claim. The creditor who you owe money to has to prove without a reason beyond a doubt that you actually had a late payment. You owe them that money. You have them in collections, but they have to prove beyond a doubt that that's you that actually owes that money. If they can't prove it, they have to remove it from your credit score. Now, the second thing you can do, if that doesn't work for you, is you can call the creditor and say like, hey, I've been paying on time now. Everything is fine. Can you get those late payments removed from my account? Now, if you have it collections, you always want to make sure before you pay collection, you always want to make sure, okay, you also want to make sure you get a written letter from them saying that once it's paid off in full and you negotiate it down, you can actually get it off your credit report, okay? Make sure that happens, or else you will be stuck with that stuff in your credit report for around 7 years, and that is not fun, okay? You want to make sure you get all that stuff taken care of. Again, links down below to how to do everything I just told you right now, okay? Now, number 3 is actually your credit card age. Tell me, how do I manipulate this, and how much does it count for? The answer is it counts for around 15% of your credit score. Now, how do you use this correctly? The answer is, I have a full video on it, but the main thing is that usually when someone starts their entire credit score history, by the way, credit age is basically how long have you had a credit card for, or any history on your credit for. Now, you can't manipulate this because you can't be like, hey, I want to go to the future and now have a longer credit history. You can't do that, okay? You have to deal with it right now. Now, my best tip is that you make sure you set up the correct foundation. Now, how do you do this, Tommy? The answer is you want to make sure you don't get as your first credit card a credit card with an annual fee, because eventually as you get better offers you will eventually close that, and since it is your first credit card with the most history on it, it will almost ruin your credit score. So the main thing is, the main factor is that you want to make sure whatever credit card you get is not one with an annual fee, and on top of that you want to make sure you don't close any credit cards whatsoever. But how do you do this? Well, I have a full video on that also down below if you want to check it out, but I will tell you here also just to save you the time if you don't want to watch the full video with all the details. Okay, now the first thing is this, guys, okay? I highly recommend whenever you get your first credit card, go for a secured credit card. Now, you might say, Tommy, I can't qualify for it, I don't have enough history. The answer is secured credit cards are very easy to qualify for, and that's why I'm recommending it in this video right here. Now, here's what I recommend when it comes to picking the right secured credit card. The first one I recommend is the Discover card. The Discover secured card is the best one in the market currently, okay? But it's hard to qualify for. If you can't qualify for that one, go for the Capital One secured card. And if you can't qualify for that one because you have a terrible credit score, for example, charge-offs, a whole bunch of things on it, well, you will have to try to get the Open Sky secured card. Now, this one right here does have an annual fee. However, you have to do what you have to do. Once you get your score higher and higher and higher, just apply for another card like the Capital One one. Once you got that one, you can close the other one eventually, okay? Now, I also have a full video on how to go about closing a credit card, because if you close it incorrectly and wrong, you will be erasing all that credit history in your credit score, and that will cause your credit score to drop by a lot, and you can't really fix it, okay? So make sure before you try to close any credit cards out there, you watch that full video, link down below. Now, number 4, the fourth factor is that you have to make sure you have different types of credit on your entire credit score. Tell me, what do you mean here? Well, this accounts for around 10% of your credit score, and it means that they want to make sure you have maybe a credit card, maybe some student loans, maybe a mortgage, and having different types means that you can manage different types of debts and they will be more inclined to lend you money. Now, tell me, that sounds great, but I don't want to go out there and get a loan just for the sake of looking fancy on my credit score. Well, you're right, okay? By the way, it's very low. It's only 10% what it accounts for, and it doesn't really matter as much, okay? Now, here's my tip, guys, okay? I highly recommend you don't go out there trying to get different types of loans just for the sake of your credit score, because it doesn't make sense to pay interest on those loans just to get a higher credit score. However, I want you guys to be patient, because eventually you will have to buy a house for real estate investing, or just buy a house for buying a house, or maybe get a loan, but eventually you'll start to acquire different types of debts, but do it naturally. Don't just do it for like a higher credit score, because why would you pay interest just for having a higher fancy credit score when it only accounts for around 10%? So no need to do that, not just yet. So just make sure this one's pretty like important, but not as important to the point where you have to go out there and get loans. By the way, I have a student loan and I also have credit card debt, and that's how I manage with this, but I wouldn't go to school just for the sake of increasing my credit score. It doesn't make any sense, okay? Now, number 5 and the final one, and my favorite one, by the way, guys, is basically the number of accounts you have and you try to open on your credit score. Now, this accounts for around 10% of your credit score. Again, not that high, but it does count if you're doing it incorrectly here. Now, this is how people go out there and do credit card churning without really hurting their credit score that bad. Now, Tommy, what's the pro? What's the con? Good news, bad news? Well, The good news is, well, I'll start with the bad, okay? The bad news is that this will be on your credit score whenever you do like a hard inquiry on your credit score, like applying for a credit card or anything crazy like that, and they do a hard pull on you. Well, this will be on your credit report, your credit score, for at least 24 months, okay? Well, but let me give you the good news, okay? But the good news is that it will only affect your credit score for around 12 months. So it'll be on your credit report for 24 months, but it'll only affect the physical score for only 12 months. So by the way, whenever you apply for a credit card and do like a hard pull, it only affects you by usually between 2 to 4 points. Not that bad, and it only lasts for maybe like 12 months, so not that bad at all. But Tommy, why isn't it that bad at all? I don't want my credit score to go down at all. Well, the answer is very simple. This is how people do credit card churning. For example, guys, people go out there and they get credit cards, do the reward points, apply for different ones here and there, and they apply for all these credit cards. They get all the rewards. By the way, if you literally go out there, okay, some quick math here. If you go out there and you apply for 5 different credit cards that offer, say for example, $700, well, 5 times $700 is an extra $3,500 in 1 year. So if you ask me, Tommy, do I want to get dinged? Maybe like let's say for example like 10 points, or do I want $3,500? The answer is I want the money. So that's why people go out there and do credit card churning, and after 12 months your credit score will go back to normal. So no big deal there, and you get extra money to go on vacation, buy whatever you want to buy, do whatever you want to do, and $3,500 is not that bad at all. I'll gladly take that money any single day of the week, okay? Now, guys, that's basically it, okay, for this video. Now, the overall entire hot topic here is that once you know these 5 factors, you can manipulate your credit score however you want to, because you basically know exactly all the cards in the bank's or the credit card's hands, and now you know exactly what they're looking for and how you can tweak it every single time you want to apply for a credit card. Now, the main thing is this, guys, okay? If you don't have any late payments, you're not going crazy, you're not having like bankruptcies or charge-offs, you will always be good. Just make sure everything is automated, you're paying down your credit card bill always in full, and never pay any interest. If you follow these rules, you'll have a great credit score and you'll be able to do whatever you want to do. Now, the ultimate tip is this, okay? If you want to try the tricks that I do and everything I do here on this channel, like credit card churning, also going out there and taking cash on my credit card, just make sure you don't do this while you're trying to get a mortgage, okay? It will affect your possibility and also the interest rate on your mortgage. So just make sure only do this when you're not applying for a mortgage. So that's why right now I'm cleaning up my credit score, because next year I will be applying for a mortgage to buy some real estate property. So by March I should be clean, and by November I should be able to apply for a mortgage and get the yes with a very low interest rate. That is my goal, and that's why I'm doing cleanup right now, okay? But cleanup means that I got around $33,000 last year in my credit cards, and I used that money to fund a whole bunch of businesses, and I made a ton of money from that money, okay? It all depends on what you want to do. Don't ever be like, okay, I just want to do this. Well, guys, comment down below and let me know, what do you guys think about this video? Comment down below, let me know what video should I do next. And guys, as always, if you guys enjoyed this video, like this video, I really appreciate it. Also, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell to get notified, and do me a favor, if you want to talk to me one-on-one, uno, just DM me on Instagram, Tiny Bryson. And if you want to watch all the videos I've done so far on credit, then watch this playlist right here. And on top of that, click my face right here to start channel right now. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. Thanks for watching, and as always, peace.